Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in the world. I am Tigress Osborne. I'm the executive director of NAAFA, the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance. Welcome to our fall virtual brunch. Those of you who are regulars know that we're doing a seasonal virtual brunch series with our fantastic brunch team, Matt and Danielle, who you're going to meet in just a moment. And we have a special guest to you, Tammy Johnson, who you'll learn about and get to experience very, very soon. Before we do that, just a couple of NAAFA announcements. For those of you who might be new to NAAFA, we are the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance, and we have been working since 1969 to change perceptions of fat and to end size discrimination. We are the co-founders with our colleagues at the FLAIR Project of the Campaign for Size Freedom, which helps to work to uplift the conversation about why we need civil rights protections related to body size, and then to help pass some of those protections all over the US. In 2024, we'll be working on legislation in Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Vermont, and Colorado is drafting a bill now. So we're adding them to the slate. We're hoping to add some other locations if this is work you're interested in doing or supporting. Please visit our website at NAAFA.org. To learn more about the Campaign for Size Freedom, to sign up for our newsletter, to sign our Size Freedom petition, to find out about other virtual events we're doing, and of course, if you are able to support us financially. We are a predominantly donor-funded organization, and we offer these kinds of virtual events free to the community through the support of people just like you. We deeply appreciate that support for those of you who are already doing it, and we encourage the rest of you to get on board the size freedom train with us. I'd like to also introduce you to our friends at Pro Bono ASL. Right now, you have Faith interpreting for you. Pro Bono ASL has been partners with us for several years now. We do compensate our interpreters because we want them to be able to offer those important pro bono services to other in other ways. So we do support them. Your support helps us support them as well. You can learn more about them at probonoasl.com. And now I want to introduce you to our fabulous, always fabulous brunch host, Matt Simko. Matt is a host and style expert, appearing on television shows for 10 plus years. He's been featured in The Guardian, Reader's Digest, and the Boston Globe. These days, you can mostly find him on Instagram as Simko Says, posting photos, fit check videos, and the occasional thirst trap. He believes that looking good and feeling good is for everybody. Find Matt at Matthew-Simko.com. This is why he's the host, y'all. Matthew-Simko.com or at Simko Says, SIMKOSAYS. Matt, welcome back.
Hey there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I always say this is like the most joyful hour that I get to do during the day that we're on these brunches. So I love doing this so much.
We are so happy to have you.
You've had some exciting things going on recently, haven't you? You were in New York, now LA.
I was in New York. Now I'm in LA. I'm in LA to support a colleague who is up for an advertising award. Melu Lopez from Google worked with us on the plus size inclusion guidelines in Google's marketing department. And she's up for an ad industry award from AdColor, which is a fantastic organization that supports, focuses on the work of people of color in advertising and marketing. And so we're cheering her on for tonight to get that award. And then I came here from New York because I was in New York for the Full Figured Industry Awards, where I received an award for my service. Thank you. And also we're our colleague and board member, Trevor Keyson, and the crew from his podcast, The Big Fat Gay Pod, also received the Podcast of the Year award. So really exciting ceremony for us in New York last week. And thank you to the folks at the Full Figured Industry Awards.
That was so fun to follow along on social media. So many people I follow were there, and I didn't even know you were nominated. So when I saw you up there, I was like, wait a minute. I know them. That's Tigress. Look at them go. It's so perfect. I was so happy.
Not that other Tigress. It's the Tigress I know.
It's the one I know. That's right. Well, congratulations again. And of course, you're doing great work. And your shirt is fabulous today as well. So.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn off my camera and hand things over to you so you can introduce our very special guest today. Thanks, Matt. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. First up today, we're going to have a really exciting performance from Tammy Johnson. She's an Egyptian-style belly dancer. Her dance career of 20 years includes a partnership with Etan and Yang as the award-winning duo Rax Africa, and as the co-director of Girls Rax Belly Dancing and Body Image Program. As a soloist, Johnson was the 2016 recipient of Deborah Slater's Studio 210 residency program, and Johnson currently is currently serving a residency with the Bridge Live Arts Community Engagement Program. She's also the director of Project AWA, where she produces performances, workshops, and community-based collaborations. You can find her at tjuniverse.com. Welcome, Tammy Johnson. Hey, Tammy.
Hello. Morning, everyone. Or whatever you are, afternoon.
I'm so excited to have you join us. I was cruising your website before we joined today. Beautiful photography on your website, by the way. It looks stunning. And what I loved was you said that you always leave a little room for magic. Is that right?
That's what art is about. Yes. Yes, always.
Tell me real quick, how did you get into A, dance, and then B, into this specific area of this Egyptian style belly dancing?
Yeah, I was really fortunate in that I had a friend who was also a plus size Black woman who was in a troupe. And I used to go to their performances, and, belly dancers have very elaborate costumes that oftentimes we can't get in and out of by ourselves. So I was kind of the dresser for her. And the troupe was like, well, if you're going to hang around, you're going to have to join us and start taking classes. And I was lucky in that the teacher at the time, Iman, was a Black woman who really was, and this was 20 some years ago, before you saw, there's a lot more full plus size belly dancers now. But, she believed that belly dance is for everyone. So, there was all kinds of sizes and ages, When you go to Egypt, everybody belly dance. It's a social dance. It's not gender specific. It's not size specific. It's something that everyone does, just like you go to a family wedding and everyone does, the latest dance of the day, right? So that's how I got into it. And, I've been doing it for 20 some odd years now.
That's amazing. Almost anyone I know that's successful in front of the camera today started behind the scenes somewhere, right? Or out in the wings doing something, and you sort of learn and evolve. And before you get started, I want to read the quote from your website that I love so much. That was, you can choreograph and strategize until you are spent, but don't forget to leave room for magic. It's what makes the movement worthwhile.
Yes, I really, not only in dance, but in life in general. I think in the Western world, we really value logic and the head and thinking, and that's important. But there's something, you don't necessarily have to believe in God. You can believe in science. You can believe in the trees and nature. You want to leave room for the energy of the world, even if it's energy amongst people, to have its magic in that moment. Everything can't be planned, nor should it be. So one of the reasons why I like particularly Egyptian belly dance is that it's mostly unchoreographed. You may have a general outline of what you want to do, but Egyptian belly dancers work closely with their musicians. And as you know, musicians, especially in this type of dance, are like jazz musicians, they riff all the time. So there's a general melody that you may need to know, but if that drummer is going somewhere, you got to go with them. So, and that's the magic.
Well, I'm excited to see the energy and the magic that you bring here today. So I don't want to hold you up any longer. Everyone, we've got Tammy Johnson with a special performance. Tammy, go ahead.
Thank you. Let's get my setup together here.
Tammy Johnson, everyone. Absolutely incredible. I was bopping along right over here. I don't know about everyone else, but that was absolutely incredible. Thank you for sharing that with us today.
Thank you.
And you're coming back, right? You're gonna do another performance at the end.
Absolutely.
And that one's got some lyrics in it as well. So we can kind of hum along to those if we want to.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
Thank
Thank you so much. Well, coming up next, we are shifting from our dancing segment over to our food segment. And as always, we have a fantastic friend here with us today, Danielle G of Fashionably Famished. She's been creating foodie and lifestyle content since 2018. Whether it's a blog post or a video, she shares her honest opinion and provides insight on topics including casual style, food and restaurant reviews, and more recently, motherhood. Her content is meant to inspire and create community for fat folks to be seen dining and thriving. Two things that I like to think I do. Everyone, Danielle G. Danielle, welcome. So good to see you. I think you're still muted on your end. I think you're.
Oh, my bad. Hey, everybody. We're in someplace different, my kitchen. And I wanted to share two things. I don't know about you. We're always focused on the main show, like when it comes to our like holiday meals that are going to be coming up, like what's the main presentation. But sometimes we got to give it out for like the appetizers and my personal favorite, because I have a sweet tooth, the desserts. So I have two hacks just to beautify simply things that you could already buy in the store. Like, let's work smarter, not harder, right? So we're in my kitchen. We're going to get
things look fantastic that you find in the store, and you are so good at it. So I'm so excited to see this.
Thank you. That is so kind. We're going to start with just like regular store-bought hummus. And I'm going to put it on the plate instead of just like putting it like this. Like, okay, it is cute. And you could put like your like veggies and your pita chips. But what if we took it out of the container and we put it on the plate? Just like this. And now it just looks really gross and brown. But what we can do is we could use the spoon to make like shapes. So let's try, I'm going to try a star. And we could just move I didn't use it all yet, so I could add more if I need to. But, and what's also really great is if you ever go to like a Mediterranean restaurant, you get it with olive oil. It tastes so good, and you dip like your pita bread in it, and then you can make like a little design. Oh, this is kind of cute, right?
Really cute.
And you could get some olive oil, fancy it up, and just drizzle some of it on like the leaves. I'm just using regular olive oil that I use all the time when I'm cooking. Nothing like crazy. If you have like, those really like deep yellows, that would look really pretty. I'm going to add a salami rose. And if you guys remember, I did this like the first time I came here on the brunch. And the rose is basically you take the salami pieces and you just like layer it over in a circle till you get the thickness desired that you want on any type of cup. Because I'm a millennial, I have tons of mason jars everywhere. Like that's like my jam. And I'm going to put this in the center because, veggies, meat, gotta mix it up, get it going. So now we have a little like flower with like a little rose inside.
Look at that.
And then,
Perfect.
And then I love plants. So I'm going to add some herbs. You don't have to eat these, but, just like, when you see the garnish, add a little pizzazz. I'm using sage. You can use anything like rosemary, mint. Oh, mint would be really good because then you could use that as like afterwards, like, freshen up your breath. I'm just going to add it in, make it look like it's a real flower. Maybe like a poinsettia, I'm thinking. Maybe I am like inspired by Christmas right now. I definitely have already started like my design over here with all that. And my husband said it was a little bit too early for all that jazz, but not for my heart.
He's wrong.
And ta-da! How's it look, people? What do you think?
That is just, like that's so much better than like a tub of hummus in the middle.
How much time do we spend on that? 5 minutes?
Seriously.
You guys, I've probably only done this like not that many times. So this is not like an artistic skill. And I have these dried, have you guys ever had these dried green beans? You just dip it in. That's good. My kiddo really wants this afterwards. So that is hack number one. And look, I still have hummus.
The hummus, I remember a couple months ago, butter boards were like a very viral thing online.
Right?
I saw some of them with hummus boards like that. So you kind of smear it around with the board, the olive oil, everything bagel seasoning or fresh herbs like you were talking about on there.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. Prettier than butter, I think, but it was perfect because you take plain hummus and put anything you want on it. You can even do like a cinnamon sugar hummus as well.
Ooh, I never heard of that. That sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna have a hummus party.
Yes, that sounds really good. I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna get a sip of my my brunch beverage before moving on to the next one. And
right, they're mini pies. Is that it?
Yes, I'm gonna do a mini pumpkin pie hack. For example, here are my mini pumpkin pies that I just slaved all day baking. No, that is not the case. I do have to go to the refrigerator, so I'm gonna keep talking because I want to make sure everything was cold. That's part of this hack. You have to make sure the pie that you buy from the store is refrigerated. And I also recommend refrigerating the next tool that you need to make the actual mini pie. So the tool you need, instead of slaving away, is just like a cookie cutter or a biscuit cutter.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be cold or it's gonna like not have those really, really, really defined lines. So I just got a pumpkin pie from Costco, Sam's Club, wherever you want to get your pie that you love. This way you don't feel like people are touching things. I feel like I'm still in that age where I don't want people touching my food that much, especially when we're in a shared environment, just because it is like, flu season, other things we're getting over from trauma from a few years ago. All you have to do, you can see what I did. It's going to be like, what? So easy. Take your what is this thing called? Biscuit cutter or cookie cutter. You just put it in the pie. I recommend staying in the center because if you go on the edges, the pie pan is not flat. You just take it out. It's still in there. And you just lightly tap it. You'd wear gloves, obviously, probably if you're serving lots of people. And shazam, there's my new little mini pie. Sorry, the sun's like right coming in.
That's incredible.
And all I have to do is just put whipped cream on it and I'm done. And you have like a whole bunch of mini pies.
I've never heard of elevated pie, and this is elevated pie.
Right? And then that way, all the little kids that get sick all the time. I'm going through that with my daughter who just started school and like she's sick every month. So instead of her touching all the little corners of the pie, she could just grab her own pie and cough on that one and not get anyone else sick. You just take your whipped cream and whatever you want to put on top, like maybe cinnamon or whatnot, and you're done. How cute, right, guys?
That is so
I don't
cool.
think you could do this with apple pie.
Tigress just asked, what do you do with the rest of the pie?
Oh, so what you could do with the rest of the pie is you could make like cake pops, but like pie pops with them. So then you just take whatever's left over, you mash it all up. And I would recommend like using those melts that you could get at the like any store really. You can get like the chocolate melts and then you could dip them in like, I think white chocolate would be really good. And just dip them in white chocolate. And now you have another dessert. Like multi-purpose, right?
It's
something for everybody.
One pumpkin pie from Costco. That's what, $12?
Yeah, I think it's 12 or 15. Well, at least in California, it's like $15.
All of these. So it's
not even $8. $8 pie.
Not right. I can tell you that. You are $8 is great for that. But
I know, right?
Putting one pie in the middle of the table, have mini pies, you've got cake pop, like a whole bunch of different things. So it really is impressive.
I know, right? So you get like more bang for your buck. And that only took me to do that one little pie. How many moments? Not really long.
Yeah.
I just appreciate being able to find some of these on TikTok. I wish I could say I got them myself, but I was just perusing through TikTok and found these little hacks, and I thought I would love to share them with you guys because I know a lot of you guys like to, share meals with other people, and this is where you can make it more special in a very simple and not so draining way, because during this time we have to definitely take care of our hearts and our minds, and we don't need to focus on all the noise that comes with the holiday season.
Some people take a lot of, they get a lot of peace from baking and doing those steps. That is not me. I don't know if that's you.
No,
but
it's not me.
It's very stressful for me to do that. So if I'm able to do something like this, I think that takes off some of the stress.
I agree. I feel like it definitely takes off the stress, especially like a lot of people, well, at least in our society, we definitely have a lot of pressure for maybe women to be in the kitchen like all day slaving away. We don't have to do that. We could use some of these store-bought hacks, and then no one needs to know.
And we should do, I think, more and more. My grandmother, who was not a good cook, used to, for dessert, she always would say, buy something from the store and just mess it up a little bit, and then it looks like you made it.
Right? She's onto something.
Drag your knife across the top of the cake, or like break off into the pie crust. Right?
Oh, not make it look so perfect.
Exactly. Then it looks like you made it yourself. And
that's hilarious.
Had a way of messing those up too somehow, but
She went a little too far.
Danielle, tell everyone how they can find you online on social.
Oh yeah, so I'm on Instagram at fashionably_famished, and that's where I post most of my content. And I am on TikTok, which is also fashionably famished, but I do not post that much. I'm like, I'm spreading myself a little too thin on multiple platforms. Maybe one day I'll get there.
I get it. And I love following along with you. And I love this hour that we get to do every few months. So as always.
Thank you.
Are you coming back, or is this goodbye for us for today?
Oh, this is goodbye for us for this segment.
Well, send those pumpkins pies right over I'm very festive here, as you can see. So
yeah.
Send it over my way, and I'm happy to finish up that pie for
you. Right? I got you.
It was good seeing you.
It's good seeing you guys. Thank you so much for being along with me on this journey.
Love it. Well, make sure everyone follows Danielle on Instagram. She's fantastic, and I love everything she does. And we are heading to your next performance. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it before you get going on that next performance?
Sure. So this is one of my favorite Egyptian songs. It's called Asua Sukar, Honey and Sugar. It's a love song. And Egyptians are they're considered in the Arab world the comedians of the Arab world. So everything's a little cheeky and a little, so love songs are very coy and very cheeky. Sometimes they have double entendre. And sometimes that involves like the love that they're talking about sometimes is the love of country. But in this particular song, no, it's someone who is the object of your love that is like honey and sugar to you. So, it's a little sappy and sweet, but I love that. That's my jam. So some of the words that you hear asu with sukor, honey and sugar. Your eyes are of my love are like honey. I like his vibe, he's saying over and over again. He's a brown, sweet man. And if he loves me, I'll give my all to him. It's just really meant to be like an overly sweet, overly coy song. And the way that it's danced, you dance to it, but in these ballady songs, these are called ballady, which means kind of like our people, our hood. They're almost meant to be mine. If you don't know the words and you're not singing along, they know that you don't know what you're doing. It's kind of like songs that we like, our jam. Everybody kind of sings along, even if they don't know all the words, they mess up the words. It's like, this is the vibe of the song. Really get into it, enjoy it. So it's called Honey and Sugar.
Well, let's show us some of your honey and your sugar, Tammy. Can't wait to see it.
All right, let me set up my music here. Let's do this and this.
عسل
Tammy Brown, everyone. Absolutely incredible. When you did that arm thing, I'm like, you got to teach me how to do that because my bones don't move that way.
So much fun. Thank you, everybody. I love it.
I actually have one question for you about belly dancing. I noticed this time around you had a sash tied, and last time you sort of had like a piece of fabric over you. Are those props typical, or those pieces of those garments?
Yeah, so there's either a belly dance belt with like coins or pellets on it, or it is a sash, a long piece of cloth that you tie. And I even been in Egypt where people spontaneously get up and they grab a couple of table napkins, tie them together, put them around their waist.
I love that.
So here it's like, this is what I want you to see. Check this out. And that's why with belly dance, you're showing off your body. You're saying, look at this. So body image issues, A.K. and I ran a program called Girls Rocks, and it was about belly dance and body image. And you can't be shy about your body. You can't be ashamed of your body when you're belly dancing. The whole purpose is like, I have this great body. You're going to look at it. You're going to love it. You're going to lean into it. And you're going to, as my friend Tigress used to say, you're going to catch these curves. And so the sass is to make sure you're looking at the hips, looking at the right thing so you catch those curves.
I love that. Is great. I figured that there was a real reason why, and that is perfect. Catch those curves. I'm going to hold on to that. I might take that from you and Tigress and start using it. Thank you again so much for doing this today. It was incredible. And I always say this is the most joyful hour of the day when I get to do this. And I hope it was for you as well.
I love it. I really miss my fat family, my fat community. I love y'all and miss y'all and can't wait to dance in person for you again. And this was delightful. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. And where can people find you on social? How can they follow along?
Sure. On Instagram, I'm at Tammy, Tammy .Johnson, JOHNSON .510. Tammy.Johnson.510 at Instagram. Or you can go to my website at tjuniverse.com. All one word, tjuniverse.com.
That website, some beautiful photography on that website. Everyone should check that out. Well, thank you again, Tammy. This was fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up our brunch. This is our fall brunch. I think we might have talked about some holiday Thanksgiving traditions in our breakout rooms. We talked a lot about pumpkin pie, which, quite frankly, I know Danielle agrees that's like the best part of Thanksgiving dinner for me, is those desserts and the pumpkin pie. This year, I don't know if anyone else was looking into how to respectfully celebrate Thanksgiving, right? Because there's so much to learn about Native American heritage in our country, and really having its time to come more into the forefront. So I thought it was interesting. Oftentimes families go around the table and say what they're thankful for this year at Thanksgiving. But one of the suggestions was to talk about the native land that you are on before you talk about what you're thankful for, and recognize those First Nationers that were here, those Indigenous people that were here before us. And I think it's a good way to honor what, tends to be a very, sort of traditional, typical holiday, and recognizing the land that we're on. So I know we've done that before here in this group, and I loved it so much. And I hope everyone takes that back with their families this Thanksgiving. So I think we're going to wrap up. Tigress, if you don't have anything else, I think we're going to say bye-bye.
Well, I'll just remind folks, because of what you just brought up, that our October newsletter featured anti-racism resources related to decolonization, and most of them were about Indigenous folks on the land that is now known as the United States. And you can always find those anti-racism resources on our website. It's a monthly feature in our newsletter, which you can also sign up for at NAAFA.org, NAAFA.org. And then we compile the anti-racism resources under a tab on our website so that folks can always go back to those and look at, sometimes they are directly related to things that intersect with fat liberation and sometimes not, just because we need to be taking opportunities to think about all the folks who need more liberation in our country and in our world. We're thinking broadly about liberation over here and putting together some resources for folks to learn more about liberation movements in other ways. So you'll see more of that coming from us in the next few months. And then, of course, as we continue to do deep learning about really serious topics that have to do with folks and identity and oppression, we are also going to continue to embrace and celebrate fat joy. So we will be back in December with a winter holiday brunch featuring our brunch crew and a performer as yet to be announced. So stay tuned for that announcement. We will see you back for that in December. And then, of course, for more educational stuff, next week we do have a webinar with our friends at Little People of America to talk about intersections between the Little People community and fat community, how our experiences with body oppression share things in common and how they don't. So please do join us for that one, and help us build that relationship with this other community that is experiencing body oppression, but also celebrating the bodies that they live in. So thank you, Matt, for being our host today. Thank you to Danielle G. And if you missed the instructions on the salami rows, you can see those in the spring video on our YouTube channel. And thank you to Tammy for such beautiful performances. And of course, thank you to our friends from Pro Bono ASL. Today, we were joined by Faith and by Gregorio and by David. So thank them always. And we look forward to continuing working with them to increase accessibility at our events. Any final word from you, Matt? I feel like I should give you the final word.
It's my hour of joy. We're going into a very grateful season. And I'm grateful to do this with this team any chance I get. So thanks for putting this together and letting me be a part of it.
We'll see you next time, everyone.